In section 6.4, we're going to look at operations on matrices. By operations, we mean add, subtract, and multiply for today. So when we add or subtract matrices, what we're doing is adding or subtracting the corresponding entries. So the entries in the matrix that are in the exact same position. So in order to add or subtract, our matrices need to have the exact same size or be of the same order. Addition, not subtraction, but addition is both commutative and associative, which means that I can change the order. So adding A plus B is going to give me the same result as adding B plus A. That's what the commutative property would say. So it would say that it's okay to change the order. We will get an equivalent result. The associative property says that we could change the grouping. So, for instance, if we were adding A plus B first, and then taking that sum plus C, we would get the same thing as if we added A to the sum of B and C. So kind of a similar sort of idea. Here, though, what we're doing is changing the grouping instead of actually changing the order. So with addition, both of those properties hold true, much like with adding numbers. So let's look then at performing some matrix addition. So I'm going to define matrix A as in this 2 by 2 and matrix B as this 2 by 2. So that's the first thing we're checking to make sure that we've got the same size matrix. So remember, I'm talking about rows. So 2 rows by 2 columns. So a 2 by 2. So these are the same size. And so we will be able to find the sum A plus B. So what we're going to do then is we're going to add corresponding entries. So I'm adding -5 and 6 since they show up in the exact same location, row 1, column 1. So -5 plus 6 gives me 1. 0 plus -3 gives me -3. 4 plus 2 gives me 6. And 1/2 plus 3 gives me 3.5. I could write it as a decimal or as a fraction. Let's try another one. So I'm going to define 2 new matrices for us, matrix C and matrix D. This time let's do some subtraction. So let's find the difference, C minus D. So much like with numbers, subtraction, the order matters. So we're not taking D minus C, we're taking C minus D. That order matters. So again, let me check my dimensions. I have 3 rows by 2 columns. 3 rows by 2 columns. So we should be able to perform addition or subtraction with these. So again, we're subtracting corresponding entries. So 1 minus 1 gives me 0. 2 minus -1 would be the same as adding 1, gives me 3. -2 minus 1, -3. 0 minus 3, also -3. -3 minus 2 would give me -5. And -1 minus 3 would give me -4. So we perform some addition and some subtraction. Let's look at one other pair of matrices. So let's check size. C is 2 rows by 2 columns, so 2 by 2. D is 2 rows, remember we're going horizontally, 2 rows by 1 column. So these 2 matrices are not of the same order, they're not the same size. So if I was asked to either add or subtract, let's say we wanted to find C minus D, then I'm going to have to say this is not defined. It's impossible. Sometimes we'll use some different vocabulary there, but this is not an operation that's defined. We're not able to take a 2 by 2 matrix and subtract a 2 by 1 matrix. Okay, let's look then at some multiplication. We're going to start with something called scalar multiplication. So when we talk about scaling a matrix, what we're saying is we're multiplying a number and a matrix. So we're going to multiply each element in our matrix by the scalar, by the number, by that value. So let's see if we work with matrix A here, if we can find 3A and -1A. So I'll start with 3A. So what this is asking me to do is to take the number 3 and multiply it by this matrix A. So I'm just going to go through and scale. I'm going to multiply every one of my elements by 3. So 3A is equal to this matrix -9, 0, 12, 15. If I want to find -1 times A, same thing. We're taking -1 and we're multiplying it by our A matrix. So essentially we're going to change all the signs. So the resulting matrix is 3, 0, -4, -5. So that's called scalar multiplication. We're simply taking each element and scaling it, multiplying it by some numeric value. Now multiplying two matrices together gets to be a little bit more complicated. So let's talk about matrix multiplication. So when we perform multiplication with two matrices, we're going to multiply the entries in the row of the first matrix by the column in the second matrix. So we're looking at rows in the first, columns in the second. We're multiplying those things together, and then we're going to find their sum. So there's several things that are happening there. So we're looking at a row in the first matrix, a column in the second matrix. We're finding individual products, and then the sum of each of those. So in order for us to perform matrix multiplication, the number of columns in matrix 1 has to be the same as the number of rows in matrix 2. This is probably going to be easiest if we just get in and try one. So we're going to define matrices A, B, and C here so that we can go through and perform some different operations. So we'll start by multiplying matrix A and matrix B. So matrix A times matrix B. Okay, so first thing I need to check is the number of columns in matrix 1 the same as the number of rows in matrix 2. So this is 2 rows by 3 columns. This is 3 rows, so 3 rows horizontally by 2 columns vertically. So the first thing we're checking is that the number of columns matches the number of rows. And it does, so we're okay. We should be able to perform this multiplication. So the next thing we're doing then is we're looking at a row here and a column here. So we're going to look at these two things together, a row and a column. So I'm taking the first one in this row, the first one in this column, I'm multiplying them together. Then I'm taking the second one in this row, the second one in this column, multiplying them together. And then taking the last one in this row, the last one in this column, multiplying them together, and then I'll take all 3 of those products and add them together so that I have one sum that I actually record in my product. So let's try that. And I'll tell you that once I get going, I'm not going to write all this out, but to get us started here so that we can kind of see what's happening, I will show you. So we're taking 3 times 1, adding it to 1 times 3, and then adding that to -1 times -2. So I'm going across this row while I move down this column. 3 times 1, 1 times 3, -1 times -2, and then I'm finding the sum. I'm adding together all 3 of those products. So if I perform that multiplication and addition, I should find here that this first element is 8. And once I get going, I will often prefer to use my calculator then to find each of these elements. So let's do that. So I'm now moving to the second row, but I'm still in the first column. I'm still in the very first spot here. So I'm going to work in the second row, first column. So I'm going to multiply 2 and 1, so 2 times 1. Then I'm going to multiply 0 times 3, so I'm moving across this row, down this column. 0 times 3. And then last one here, 3 times negative 2. When I find those products and add them together, I get a sum of negative 4. So I was in the second row, first column. Second row, first column. So this is negative 4. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. Now I'm moving to column 2, so we're going to fill in column 2. Working across this row, working down this column. 3 times 6, 18. Plus 1 times negative 5, so now I'm at 13. Plus negative 1 times 4, so 13. Did I say that right? 18. Minus 5. Minus 4. Yeah, that'd be correct. So 18 minus 5 minus 4, that would give me 9. And now I'm in the second row, last column, second row, last column. Across this row, down this column. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 0, plus 12. So 12 and 12 gives me 24. So I have 8, 9, negative 4, 24. Let's try another. So first I'm going to check sizes. 3 rows by 2 columns. 2 rows by 3 columns. Checking that these inside dimensions are the same. Notice that these outside 2 dimensions, 2 by 2, told me that I was going to have a 2 by 2 product. So here I'm expecting a 3 by 3 product. Okay, so I'm working across the row, down the column. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 6 times 2 is 12. 3 plus 12 gives me 15. I think I'll go this way. I'm going to stay in this row, move to the next column. 1 times 1 is 1, plus 6 times 0 is 0. 1 plus 0, 1. And move to the last column, still on the top row. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1, plus 6 times 3, which is 18. So negative 1 plus 18 gives me 17. See if you can finish that multiplication. How'd you do? Notice that we said these outside dimensions would match the dimensions of our product, and they do. Let's just try a couple more then. Again, checking my size. 3 rows by 2 columns. 2 rows by 2 columns. So the inside numbers are the same, so it's possible to multiply. The outside dimensions tell me I should end up with 3 rows by 2 columns. Starting with a row here and a column here. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 6 times 1 is 10. Again, see if you can form that multiplication. Let's see how you do. So here's our product, and again, these outside dimensions told us that we would end up with 3 rows by 2 columns in our product. Last one I want to look at here then, if we multiply A and C. So again, I'm going to check my dimensions. So A is 2 rows. Those go across by 3 columns. And C is 2 rows by 2 columns. So notice that these inside 2 dimensions do not match. If I try to work across this row and down this column, 4 times 3, 1 times 1, I have negative 1 and nothing to multiply by. And so that means that this multiplication is not possible. So again, this is going to be a chance for us to say, this is not defined. This operation on these matrices is not defined. In other words, it's not possible.